Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What decision are you sitting on right now that you already know the answer to? It's not a hard one. It's not a complicated one. It's one you've been thinking about for days, maybe even weeks. And every morning you wake up and tell yourself, not yet. I've been in leadership for over 25 years. I've built broadcast facilities for Disney, NBCUniversal, Fox, the NFL, and many other companies. I've coached leaders across the entertainment industry, and I can tell you the number one thing that silently kills great leaders is not bad decisions. It's no decisions. Let's talk about what procrastination actually is, because most people think it's laziness. It's not. Lazy people don't lose sleep over what they're avoiding. Procrastinating leaders do. Procrastination basically is fear. Wearing a costume of preparation. It sounds responsible. It feels responsible, but it's costing you more than you know. So here's what it's actually costing you. Cost number one, you lose the window. Opportunities in this industry don't wait. If a client who needs an answer on Tuesday, well, if they don't get it, they've already moved on to your competitor by Friday. A team member who needs clarity on their role has mentally resigned by the end of the month. Windows open and windows close, and no amount of preparation reopens a closed window. Cost number two, you train your team to stall. This one nobody talks about. Culture flows downhill. If your team watches you defer, then they delay, they hedge, they will do exactly the same thing. They watch the entire organization slow to a crawl. Not because the market changed or budgets dried up, but because the leader at the top couldn't put it all together and couldn't pull the trigger. And everyone beneath them has learned the waiting was a safe move. Procrastination is one of the most contagious habits in any organization. Now, cost number three, and this one is personal. You erode your own confidence. Every unmade decision is a weight you carry. And the longer you carry it, the heavier it gets. And the heavier it gets, the harder it becomes to put it down. Inaction feeds on itself. I've seen leaders who were sharp, capable, visionary, slowly paralyzed by the accumulation of things they wouldn't decide on. Don't let that be you. Now, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, commander of armies, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers who ever lived, he didn't have the luxury of waiting. He was managing wars on the frontier, a plague that killed millions, political enemies on every side. And in the middle of all that, he wrote in his own private journal, "Confine yourself to the present, and this, you can leave the life you want right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think now." He was not telling you to be reckless. But he was not saying throw caution away and charge blindly forward. He was saying be honest about what the cost is of delay. Stoic discipline of action is about speed, and it's not about speed, actually. It's about integrity. Acknowledge what you already know. Make the call and adjust as you go. That is leadership. In my book, Leading the Cut, I talk about something I call reading the room. Understand what your team needs from you in any given moment. And here's what I've found. Across every industry, every team, every level of leadership, what people almost always need from the person at the top is not perfection. It's not clarity. It's just decision, direction. A leader needs to decide on things. They need to decide. Someone willing to say, here's where we're going, here's why, and we'll figure it out the rest on together. That's it. That's the difference between a leader of where people follow this leader and a manager who people tolerate. So here is what I want you to do before you close this video. Name one decision that you've been sitting on, write it down, and give yourself a deadline. Not someday, but a date. And then make the call. Not perfectly, just made. Because if a good decision made today beats a perfect decision made too late. Every single time. If this hits home, please subscribe. And every Monday and Thursday, I'll put out a new content on leadership, service, and building teams that win. And if you want to go deeper, pick up a copy of Leading the Cut, a book I wrote, and the link in the description down below. I'll see you next Thursday, and I'm Jeffrey Weiss, your leadership coach.